Esselamu Aleyküm. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi işdud bihi ezri ve yeşrik fi emri kay nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Allahümme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtena ve zidna ilma ve erinel hakka hakkan ve erzukna ittiba'a ve erinel batila batilan ve erzukna ictinabe ve sallillahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellim velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Esselamu aleyküm. Welcome. We are inshallah going to study, in fact, from section 45, which is 45 is, my God, Jasiya, Jasiya, section Jasiya. But we will, inshallah, study two verses from section Yusuf, 12, the 12th section of the Quran, and because these two verses introduce the main topic that we are going to study in Jasiya, the verses in Jasiya, beginning of the Jasiya section, surah, that is called in Arabic. That is why we started studying this verse 105, because of the importance of the word ayah is used in the Quran, the way it is used in the Quran. So this verse said, because we studied almost quite detailed last week, I will just read the translation of it and see the connection with the following verses that we are inshallah going to study. Yep. But how many signs is there in the heavens and on earth which they pass by carelessly, unthinkingly, it is explained there, and on which they turn their back. They pass by carelessly without really taking notice of it, and they turn back, ignore it, forget about it. This is not important. So we said in the Samawat and Ard, which is the general language of the Quran referring to the whole universe. We all know that. Not necessarily the Samawat and Ard with what else? There is no way. So the whole universe, it means in existence. This verse specifically refers to the creatures in this universe. But min ayetin, the Arabic structure of it refers that each of the things, not because singular, ayatin, min al-ayat, no, min ayatin. So each of everything, it means. Which means that there is no really exception in the existence of the universe which may not function as a sign. Of course, Qur'an's, when it says sign means to the truthfulness of the message of the Quran. So it combines and also connects to each other. Truthfulness of the message of the Quran. We may say only the creation of each thing is a sign to the qualities of its creator. But it's not only that, it is a sign to confirm that, or to be used in order to confirm that, yes, believe in one creator, absolute creator is the foundation of all the belief system of the Quran. Belief in angels, the things are signs to their existence. Belief in the message of the Quran, it means God's speech. How can it be? Yeah, they are signs for the reality that God reveals his message. It means speaks. How? Any guess? How they really function as a sign to the existence of the angels. So we have to see the combination between the angels represents God's will to be executed in the form of a created, limited world. Now be careful here. It may be something unfamiliar for those people who come from Muslim background, so it may be unfamiliar. Why? Because we see angels has nothing to do with the universe. But at the same time, Quran says, no, angels are the executors or the employed executors of the will of God, that whatever God wills, they transfer it into created, limited form. So each being demonstrates the necessity of the existence of angels. Why? Because each being we studied, months back, angelic side of the creation, which means meanings of the. For example, you can see, I think I can see in the reflection that in the screen, there is something there. But when you look at the material side of it, it is just really dots on the screen. Each dot is called in the screen of the computer pixel. So the pixels. But when we read it, وَكَيِّن مِّنْ آيَةٍ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ, what are you talking about? Meaningful things. Where did they get it? Where did they get the meaningful message? The angelic side of the creation. Angelic side of the creation speaks. It means they are created with the ability to speak. So, angels also manifests the creator's quality who speaks. So, the one who speaks through the creation narrates, introduces himself. So the one who creates human beings with the ability to speak, with the ability to comprehend, definitely that one will be able to speak. And when you speak, when I speak, do you understand? Now, the one who created you with the ability to understand the speech, which is not material, is it? The meaning of the speech. Yes, the sound waves are material existences. But through the material existence, God creates this universe in such a way that they can carry meaning. And this meaning makes sense to human beings, conscious beings, and through this, the same human beings, through this speech, understands the meaning, what is in your head. Although I cannot get the X-ray of your head, even I don't understand. Whether I have no way to see it, but when you pronounce it, articulate it, I can understand. So with this ability, whoever created you with this ability, this one must also be able to speak and understand when somebody speaks to him. Oh, that is why we understand that the creator of the universe must have the quality to speak, must have the quality to understand the speech. Back. Got it? So, angelic side of the universe, meaningful side of the universe, refers to the necessity of the existence of something which is not physical but exists. One existence cannot be reduced to physical existence only. So, for example, your feelings, your intelligence, your ability to speak, to analyze, to communicate with others, and also through the speech you connect. For example, highway, driving on the highway, you see that the scene, view, and there is a resting place. View there, looks like wonderful, especially in the eastern coast, wonderful. So East Coast is really great. Everywhere is almost forest. You take a break and you stare at it. What do you do? What do you do? Communicate with the beauty. It means they are speaking to us. We are communicating with them. Beautiful. Every ayah is, so far we understood that every creature is a sign to the necessity of its creator. Through the qualities they announce the qualities of their maker. Yeah. For example, if you see something, what about the qualities? You see that, it is nice, it is well designed or strong. And also, who made it? And it was very wise. Just to put my computer on, it's a wonderful one. Huh? Brother Khalid is not going to allow me to take it home. So he would say, we need it, man. You are not only the one who uses it. Yeah, of course, there are many people organizing many speech here or discussions with the friends. So it's perfectly done. A wise man, knowledgeable man, with a good quality of designing. How did you know? Here it is. The thing is speaking to me. That's a sign. And also, hereafter, we understand everything is created in circle. Everything. How? Dies and new one is created. Dies and new one is created. And also, the circle is not only death and regeneration is created. No, every moment is changed. It means this universe is not stable. It cannot sustain its existence. It stops, and definitely, if it is not created anymore, it cannot exist again, because nothing has the ability to create itself. Can you create yourself? Really? No, but you can eat. Yeah, but you eat in order to be careful here. I'm not saying you be careful, but everybody, we have to be careful. When I eat, it is not really sustaining my life, but I am asking the one who will sustain my life, please, you taught me through the order of the universe, if I don't eat, it means I am asking for my death. If I eat, I am asking for my continuation of my life. So when I eat, I am asking the creator of the universe who established this universe with this order, I want to continue my life. Please. So every eating, drinking, or doing activities is a prayer to the creator. So however we pray, God says, Ud'uni astajib lakum. Pray for me, pray to me, I will respond back to you. So if I eat, it is a prayer for my life, continuation of my life. If I don't eat, it is another prayer. not to continue my life. I want to receive your death. That is how I learned from the ayah, signs of the way the things are created. You can continue all the message of the Quran is in fact fortified, confirmed through the signs the universe is existing. So that is why the Quran and the speech of the Creator must be combined and must be studied together. Okay, those people, if they don't pay attention to the signs of the Quran and the signs of the creation, don't look at them as signs and benefit from them as signs. If they just say that this is just a matter, nothing to do with me, unconscious matter, if they don't pay attention to the creation, they will never ever will be taking notes of the speech of the Creator. Why? Because the speech of the Creator in and of itself alone doesn't make sense without witnessing. So it says something, I don't know what it is. So we have to communicate through the work and the one who creates it with speech combined together, and we will say, this means this, this means this, because speech will explain it. But the creation will be witness to it. So that was fundamental, if you like, main base of the Quran to teach this ayah. And if someone doesn't pay attention to the creation, it is important now, not to the Quran at this stage, to the creation, and take the ayah side of it, science side of it, what happens? It means don't read the sign. For example, there is something on the screen, right? Somebody passes by it and doesn't read it. And take it as a sign because it conveys the meaning. So doesn't pay attention to it. So Quran says this person will never ever understand the message of the Quran in the right way. How? The following verse. Now today we have to study this. وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. Wow. It is very threatening. What does it mean? And most of them, who are they? Who are they? Those people who live in this world. And especially those people who specify their profession, study the creation, the things in the labs. They call themselves scientists. But I call them the liars of science. Those disbelievers, the unbelievers. Why? They look at the things, ayat, science, study, and they don't read the meaning. They don't read the meaning. They don't take it as science. They say, it is existing by themselves. There is no message in it. Don't bother. They don't pay attention to it. Just pass by it, turn their back to it. There is no meaning. So what does materialist scientists say? Materialist science, not every science. Materialist scientists say. Matter speaks. Exists by itself. That's it. Naturally. Do they convey any message? Do they carry any meaning? What did they say? What? No, that's what I'm doing. This is the wood. They studied table and they said this is wood, made of wood and metal. That's it. But it's a table. It functions in a meaningful way and says, by its own existence, declares that I have a conscious maker, made me in this way, because I cannot become a table by myself. I have no potentiality. But they say, no, it is how it is. Instinctively, wood becomes the result of random happenings as a table. And they say, okay, I'm fine now. I can survive. There's choice. More clever than human beings. Also, we don't really know what to do exactly. So we need guide, we need consultants, we need teachers. But matter doesn't need so. You can. That's why I say liars. No, deniers. So if they don't take notes of it, there is no way for them to believe. No, and most of them don't even believe in God without also ascribing divine powers. We're mushrik to created beings rather than Him. It means they ascribe the qualities of their creator to things themselves and say that matter exists by itself, not existed by its creator. So they say this is made up of matter, but they don't pay attention. Made by nature itself, instinctive things in it. So when we say, which is usually understood by the students of the Quran, they don't believe in God, but they don't believe in God generally taken as they don't believe in the existence of God. That is correct, but only partially correct. Why? Believing in God means existence of God, definitely, but also what God does in this world. What is the purpose of creation? What the message He is giving to me? Why He created me? It means all the content of the Quran is what God says. When we say they don't believe, when the Quran says they don't believe in God, it means they don't believe in also not only the necessary existence of God, but also what God teaches, what God intends. They don't believe in it. It means they don't believe in the message of the Quran. It means revelation. So if they don't believe in God, they don't believe in what God is doing, why He is doing, which kind of qualities He has, and also what is the intention of God that He explains in His verbal message. So it includes everything. Not only believe in God. Do you think they don't believe in God, but they believe in angels? No. They believe in the hereafter? Impossible. If someone doesn't believe in God, for example, if I say, I tell you this and give an information, if you say, I don't believe in you, what does it mean? In what you said. Yeah? Okay. Only mushrik, only as a mushrik. It means even they believe that God must exist, the creator, there must be a creator of this universe. Okay, this is God. I understand that. There must be somebody who is doing it. all the things so wonderful, universal wise, order, perfect, everything perfect in its position. Impossible. There must be something. I believe in God. But still, without ascribing divine power to it, mushrik. But it means giving his qualities, attributing his qualities to what he has created. Such as saying, yes, this computer definitely must have an engineer. Simple, isn't it? Who designs this? No one. Okay. I believe in the existence of the engineer who made this computer. All right, I agree. But now it is working by itself. What does it mean? Yeah? It's a simple example. I give the simple example. I love the simple examples. Of course, the Earth, globe of Earth needs to be created, arranged in this way. But the Earth is functioning in such a way that it produces plants and animals. It functions as the home for animals. Yeah. What happened? Shirk. That is, what does it mean? Yeah. For example, I am created, yeah. But somebody created me, so I know I don't exist by myself like this, okay. But now I am feeling, these are my actions. I am the creator of my thinking, my learning, my doing, my feelings. That is very heinous. If I do something good, what I say? That's I'm a good man. I did this. What does it mean? I am the creator of what I did. I am the owner of it. Rather than, for example, we gave the example at the beginning of today's discussion. I ate, that is why food is keeping my health. Not that food, when I eat food, it is asking the Creator to give me health, to continue my life. There is a difference. So if I say food is sustaining my life, I am taking care of my life. If I don't really want, in daily language, we use this. But if I don't really realize that, yes, this is a way of asking God to create it for me, because I cannot create next day. Can I? So it is obvious. I cannot create anything not next moment. Even I don't know what will happen to me. So I go out, I don't know what's happening, what will happen to me. So I take precautions because I don't know. So how can I say that I'm creating it, I'm making it, this is me who is doing it? No, I'm just asking. So even somebody says, I believe in God, regardless of which religious tradition he follows, I believe in God, and now I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of my life, and I'm taking care of my life. Something is dangerous, isn't it? The Quran calls mushrik. That is why we have to be very careful to realize the nature of this creation is such that every single being is witnessing that its creator must be the creator of the whole universe, otherwise it cannot be potato. It is so simple, isn't it? This part, for example, of the table, this one. So this piece says, I am put here, made and put here by the one who made the table, because it perfectly fits there. In its existence, it declares it. in its very existence, it speaks to me, conveys the message to me that I am made by the one who made the whole table, so that I am put in that right position to fit it, function it according to the required purpose of the existence of the table. So that is what we understand, that every single being is made in the universe, pointing out that I am made by the one who made the whole universe and employed me in the right position where I am created, in the right position. So shirk means, this is usually translated assigning partners to God. No, not assigning partners to God. They say this piece here functioning by itself. It means it really gave existence to itself. What does it mean? He is existence giver. Existence giver means this: God created the universe and I created myself. I created my child's health. I created something, what I did. For example, if I do a good action, especially really we are very, very proud of the good actions we do, saying, I'm a good man, I'm a good man. Rather than saying, I used my created feelings and asked God to create, this is what I have chosen according to your will, according to, by obeying your order. So that is why we have to understand that prayer is not only that we do on this masjid. No, it is definitely the main one. It's a very, institutionalized duty that Allah says specifically do this time. But whole life, we can turn our whole life into prayer with this consciousness. If we don't do, what happens? Most of our life passes in, as the verse says, يَمُرُّونَ عَلَيْهَا وَهُمْ عَنْهُ مُعْرِضُونَ. They pass by and they don't pay attention to. What does it mean? Not consciously we are saying that I am a creator, but unconsciously inferring that, yes, God is my creator, but I am doing, it is my creation. This is a very dangerous understanding, and the Quran warns us that if you don't pay attention to this connection, this combination between ayat, plural of ayat, signs in the creation, and ayat in what I am saying, if you don't combine them, inevitably you cannot save yourself from falling into shirk. How? It's not a conscious shirk, but it is involuntary, but weakness of the realization of what Iman, belief in God, requires. Missing point, weakness, very feeble, fragile. Why? God is created. God is the one who created you. I am doing my work. My life is here. The earth is working in this way. Climates are changing according to the laws. God has nothing to do with this universe anymore. He created and left it. Like a human being made the computer and left it. But God is the one who is continuously changing it, renewing its existence. That is the point the Quran is going to remind us, inshallah. Now, we are, now it is 45 Jathiyah, and this is important. In the Quran, there are such very interesting, extremely interesting, I wouldn't say sentence, letters. Ha, mim. H, M. What does it mean? No, it is a verse. H, M is a verse. What? And it carries the message. What message? It is just letter H, M. It doesn't stand for something. You know, let's say NYU stands for New York University. No, it doesn't mean that. No one uses that. So scholars, I think we have to pay attention to this point. Excuse me, just a moment. Now, scholars spent, I don't know, pages of pages. Yeah, and came up with possibilities of the meaning they refer to 20, 30, really. They're a lot. They all, from one perspective, make sense. I agree. And we appreciate their effort to make sense of these verses in the Quran. So one thing we have to pay attention that people, when they hear this during the life of the Prophet, they said, Hamim, oh, Muhammad is going crazy. Why? Just tell his letters and they said, God revealed it to me. Come on, man. It's the laughing stock. And the scholars say the Prophet was really not honest, really true in his claim that he received this from God. He would hide the first one, these verses, because it looks ridiculous, meaningless. Okay, that's why people want to understand the meaning, and they say this is one interpretation. Well, there are many, but this is one of them. Says this is evidence that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was honest in his claim, because he cannot defend. He didn't explain what it means himself. Because the Prophet ﷺ didn't make many comments on the Quran. No. Very occasionally, if he is asked, and he just referred to one verse or another, and that's it. Not many narration. Especially, this is interesting, the Prophet, have you noticed that? There is no narration from the Prophet that Prophet sat with the people and made a commentary on the Quran. No such thing. When they ask, what does it mean? But it is so interesting that companions of the Prophet did not ask the Prophet, what do they mean? Oh, they got some message. We don't know. There is no narration. So, all my readings, my conclusion is extremely important. To take it, this idea is important. What is that? We notice that there are many sections of the Quran starts with these funny languages, funny letters. Kaf, ha, ya, ayn, nun, ya, sin. Okay. We got it attracts our attention. Yasin, wal Qur'an al Hakim. Immediate afterwards refers to the Quran. Hamim, Tanzilul Kitab min Allah al Aziz al Hakim. Quran. So most of it, exception I think one or two, most of it immediately afterwards refers to the Quran. I thought that must be something to do with the nature of the Quran, that the Quran, they are called independent letters or huruf al-muqatta'a, cut letters, so that you cannot make hamim, for example. You cannot say in Arabic there is a word exists, hamma, humma, hum. You know, it is hammam, for example. You know, remember this word. Yeah, so you cannot make a word out of it. Now, significance of the letter says, look, I'm going to tell you something. A book, the Quran says book. So in this book you will find that some paragraphs, sentences, words written. And these words, this book, sentences, words, are made of letters. Be careful with each letter of the sentence I'm saying. Consciously. Yes, the significance of it, letter by itself doesn't make sense. Yeah? Like I use this example, simple example, my friend. Brick. Brick by itself is nothing. Or this one. Again, I don't want to take any other things that they are related to our video recorder. In itself, it's nothing. But when you put it here, it completes the table. The table becomes complete. So if you say take one part of the computer out of computer and look at it, what is this? This is meaning nothing. It doesn't function anything. It doesn't do anything. When you put it in the computer without this piece doesn't work. Whole computer is useless without this piece. Correct? When you put it in the computer, the whole computer becomes meaningful. So Quran, I understood that this huruf al-muqatta'a, separated letters, that, the technical word we understand in English, how do they translate it?
Maybe disconnected?
Disconnected letters, let's put it one, because muqatta, qata is cut letters, that you cannot really make it together, cut. So, disconnected letters. Good option, thank you. So, disconnected letters says, while I am going to make this computer example, each part in and of itself doesn't mean anything. When it is put in this right place, it is everything. Read the book. That's why muqatta'at, this disconnected letters, is immediately afterwards related to the Quran. Pay attention to it. It's very shocking to me. I said, it must be something to the nature of the Quran. Something to the nature, and telling us you have to pay attention to each letter, because each letter has its own meaning after it is put in the word. And you cannot even change one letter of the Quran. So be careful about it. That's what my favorite explanation about the disconnected letters in the Quran, huruf al-muqatta'a. There are others, of course, from their respect, the scholars, they are saying something. I'm not saying they are wrong. This is only the right one. This is the most favorable one for me. I don't know whether it made sense to you or not. That is one thing. Another thing that we are going to study, this is verse 1, that's verse 2, inshallah. Tenzilul kitabi min Allahil azizil hakim. The revelation of the book. Tenzil. So we have to analyze this verse, because the structure of, or how do you say, morphological quality of this verb is important. We have to study this. the revelation of the book is from God, the mighty one, the wise one. All right. Okay. It is in English revelation. Revealed. No, the language of the Quran doesn't say nuzulul Qur'an kitabi min Allahil azizillah, but tenzil. Tenzil means the second form of the verb, original verb. It means tenzil, nezzele, yunezzilu, tenzil. So you know that. So if a verb is used in the second form, it refers, first of all, continuity of it, as if profession. Yeah, for example, I don't know. If I say a baker or an engineer profession, continuously having this potentiality that he is doing it. An engineer, let's take this one. A baker is the one who keeps, or his profession is to make bread. So, or engineer, his profession is to design a machine or I don't know, whatever the engineer he is, computer engineer, different. His profession, continuously he is engaged in this action. That's why the tenzil means continuous revelation. But we know that it is not continuous revelation. It took place within 23 years and finished. It is not really continuous, limited. No, the Quran says tenzil. What does it mean? It continuously reveals its meaning to every person at every time, never stops. That is the morphology of the word, gives us the meaning. What does it mean? Min Allahil Azizil Hakim. This mighty and wise God is continuously really revealing this book. But we say, excuse me, Quran consists of 600 pages. And this 600 pages is really small pages. If you put it into a normal printed book, it becomes 200 pages, and it has a beginning, it has an end. Seems to be, it's not continuous, is it? It is continuous. Meaning-wise, it is revised. But how are we going to understand this? First, we have to be careful that we studied 2 verses before this as an introduction to the importance of the section of beginning of the section Jathiyah. We said, we understood that the Quran says, whatever is created out there, if you don't pay attention to it, you will never be able to reach really a good understanding of God and believe in it. Now, I have to look at the verse, and at the same time, I have to take notice of the universe, how it is being created, how it is coming into existence. So take it together, combine it. All right. This says this book is continuously being renewed in its revelation. I say, no, it is finished. It was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, and that's it. That's it. It is done there. How it is continuous? And the Quran said, in other verses, look at the universe. In order to understand that God speaks continuously, you have to see the universe and see the message of the Quran. Combine it. So, do you think universe is static or dynamic? Dynamic. Is it, dynamic is not a train, for example, dynamic. Continues to renew it. Train doesn't renew in its existence as a train. Yeah, although it is, but we don't. As far as the engineering side of it is example, just an analogy. So analogy is just, but the universe is go and look at a tree. Every day it is different. No? So every day I'm getting old. Well, you are not, but I am. Okay, you can cheat yourself. So every day I'm renewed. Not even every day, every moment. Although, if somebody asks me, God created me and I'm growing. There is no tenzil, continuous creation in my understanding. Yeah, God created you and you are growing. Seems to be. Yep.
So, with the idea of, because if we're getting our signs from both the Quran and the universe, right? But in this ayah, it's specifically talking about the Quran, right? The Kitab.
Kitab, yes,
Kitab.
but not necessarily the Quran, but in some places the Quran. But even Quran and Kitab needs to be analyzed separately. But okay, let's say Quran. Yeah, okay. For the moment, it's Quran. Okay, I agree. Although we will understand that the Kitab refers to both. The universe is a book, Kitab, Revelation, Quran is a book. They are again equal terms. But that is later on to be discussed. I don't want to interrupt you. You carry on.
Okay, but that's an important point. But so with that idea, if we were to say Kitab as Quran for right now, could it be understood in that, like, especially when I did not know that the Prophet ﷺ did not give narrations or explanations.
Mm-hmm.
So could it be understood that because the universe is continuing to expand and continuing to change, that means that when you connect that to the Quran, that the meanings in the Quran continue to expand?
No, that is why we have to connect now, because as the action of the Creator continuously reveals itself anew at every day, every moment, His speech meaning also goes along with the universe. That's why it is important to read the Quran. Sorry?
His speech as in the Quran.
Speech?
When you say his speech continues, you were talking about the speech as in the
Yeah,
Quran.
this means the meaning of this apparently static sentence, ayat, static sentence of the Quran, the meaning of it also
Continues to
renewed. Meaning of it is deeply renewed. So, why? Because you cannot read the Quran without the universe. If you cannot read, if you have to read the Quran, for example, listen to the man and don't take what he is doing. No, he is doing it and speaking, saying, I did this for this purpose. I did this. I meant that. Speaking through creation, doing the action. So you cannot separate the speech from the action, because both speech and the action comes from the same source. So speaking and acting, since it is obvious that his action is speaking, so the content of speech is also speaking to me. His action is changing. Content of the Quran must change. What does it mean? every generation, every group of people must study the Quran according to their conditions and understand it according to their needs. Now, historically, we know that in some centuries it was taken more seriously than other centuries. Nowadays, everybody writes translation. It's easy, a sort of copy pasting from each other. I noticed that. So, but serious commentary on the Quran is not very common. So, century will come, we don't know, because it happened historically. In some centuries, heavily Quran is paid attention to and studied. In some centuries, less. But always it is needed to be re-understood, reinterpretations, because the creation is always created, renewed. So that is why I am very fascinated with this understanding that if anybody reads the Quran without accompanying the universe, something is missing. They have to study the Quran within its historical context only. Unfortunately, that's why nowadays it is very obvious that we have to do it. Historically, we look at the classicals mostly talking about only during the life of the Prophet. Mostly, not everyone, mostly, majority, if you are familiar with it. So, this is 21st century, and there's a different creation here in New York. And I have to read the Quran and make sense of it within my living conditions. Necessary. Okay.
When we're doing it, when we're understanding it from our living conditions, our current conditions, wouldn't that also mean that the understanding of it changes quite a lot?
Yeah. Yep. But don't confuse with the fiqh rules.
Okay.
For example, Duhur prayer is for that is something institutionalized by the Prophet.
Okay.
And of course ordered by Allah, but Allah made it in general. For example, Allah said, when you wake up in the morning and the evening, when you go to bed, and the mid-time or afternoon time, connect with God. It means glorify Him and also praise Him. Okay? That's what it says. But how am I going to do it? Through the practice of the messenger. That's why messenger also is another necessary element in understanding the content of the Quran, because Quran and his instructor, the messenger, and the universe, his action, combine them. And also, we always refer to human feelings. Human feelings also continuously changing. For example, one day you are happy, the another way maybe a little bit gloomy, or so like me, angry, sometimes disappointed, sometimes happy. Yeah. So also, worrying about something. Sometimes, come on, don't worry. This word is take it easy. Do whatever you can do, and don't worry about it. Leave it to God. But do your job properly, asking God properly. Since always something.
No, but I think we're good.
Good? Okay. Four elements were. But at this stage, we have to concentrate on universe and the Quran. when it comes to specific, the Quran is very limited in his description or prescription of his this how do you say prescribed actions. Very very limited. Prophet establishes them and teaches us them. These prescribed duties are aside. The rest of the Quran must be read alongside with the universe, and the meaning expands. For example, Quran said, believe in the Creator. So 1,000 years ago, Creator means creates the universe and the animals and plants and stars out there, and moon and the sun and wind, and that's what he creates. Now, at quantum level, there is something happening so strange in the cells, inside the cells. Oh, there is something which is called, they call it DNA. It has huge information coded in it. What? Who is doing this? Yeah, that's a, when you look at the sun, you understand that it needs to be created and put there and located there and arrange the things accordingly. Yeah, I understand this. But how about quantum level? It seems to be it's happening by itself. What are you talking that the God is taking care of it? It's so every quanta is taking, changing itself. Every cell is changing itself so fast, so fast. They imagine God is something like me and maybe more intelligent man than me. It doesn't really register in the mind that no. God made it and left it. But Quran says, no. كل يوم هو في شيء. Every moment he does another thing at every level. Now it needs another interpretation. Now that is why, but when you read it, so you will understand. For example, كل شيء, كل شيء. If you ask the man, كل شيء means 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, I mean the trees, the animal, the cows and horses, camels, yeah. And what else? Well, human beings, of course. And what else? Birds, maybe. That's it. I mean, maybe bugs, insects, some insects. And that's it. Now, you go into everything now. You go into deep galaxies, get the rays from them, analyze there is meaning in the rays they receive from galaxies. They say this galaxy is how many billion years old. How do they know? It is meaning in the rays they receive. Look, now the meaning is not in the existence of, as the Quran gives the example, camel, mountain, sky, earth. No, in the structure of DNA. So Quran is going alongside with the realization of creation, discoverings of God's actions in creation. So the Quran must be read accordingly. So when the Quran says kullu shay means every element in DNA. Now, please. Not that we are going to explain the Quran with a materialist interpretation of the science, claims of the science. This is the end. No, it is nothing. Nothing can come to end in the universe at all. So, for the moment, they understood in this way. But what I benefit from it, physical explanation, uncovering side of it. So I use the physical uncovering interpretation according to the Quran. Yes, sir.
So what I'm understanding is because the universe is dynamic and always changing, and I am always changing,
I think you are, yeah. You are getting old. Okay, it's not a good news, but it is good news, yeah. All right.
Trying to feel it. So I could study the Quran my entire life
Mhm.
and pull meaning from it based
Mhm.
on my experience of life and my
Yep.
So, it's okay, no worries. So based on my experience of life and my needs, right? But that means that, let's say in the future I have a child, I have a son or a daughter. It doesn't necessarily mean then that what I learned applies to them.
No.
So they're going to need to have their own unique relationship with the Quran and the universe, which is the work
Yeah.
as well, according to their needs and their experiences.
Their
So
experiences.
some of my lessons and my meaning might translate, but they have to learn how to read the Quran themselves, and that's probably more important.
Within
right?
their own
Yeah.
living conditions.
So more important than the meaning being passed on is actually teaching them how to have a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with the Quran and the work. Would you say that that is right?
Yeah, yeah. Inshallah. Thank you very much. So I just want to emphasize on the importance of combination, and disconnected letters must be taken seriously, and also the structure of the verb and structure of the sentences in the Quran must be not reduced to the translations only. But those people who don't know Arabic, they would say, okay, only the superficial meaning, one of the superficial meaning I am reading, not I am reading the Quran. I am reading the understanding of the translator of the Quran. According to his capacity, I mean, translator of the Quran, great job. It is practical, but really, as far as the content and quality of the Quran is concerned, translation is, well, it can no way do justice with the Quran. Impossible. Because it's revelation. Tanzil is not revelation. But it has the flavor of revelation in it. But which kind of revelation? It needs explanations. Okay, I think we have to stop here. The time is a bit more than an hour. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bihurmati sirri suratil Fatiha.